I didn't get up this morning with plans to record a video. I actually have work to do, unlike these clowns that I'm going to be talking about. This individual thought it would be interesting or funny to take my work, take my name off it, and then start saying things like how I'm using far right wing symbols, and, well, let's just jump into it. A reader of mine on Twitter, I suppose, looked up or was able to find me on Twitter and alerted me to somebody who posted one of my comics, and the quote is here: "Being right wing is using symbols that are hateful while pretending to be unaware that they are hateful. They always remove the context of the symbols and paint those who see through their facade as overreacting." Fine. I'm going to post the original comic here, and the first thing we're going to notice is that they took my name and my Twitter handle off of the original. Here's the actual original. I think it's interesting that this individual is talking about removing context when they themselves have twisted the comic. Firstly, by not adding me, or by removing my name, they have removed any possibility, at least initially, for me responding or clarifying my positions. And also because the comic itself is pretty funny, I think, and its sequel, which I replied to. Why wouldn't you have my name in there, bud? Is it because you think I would get new followers, which I did? Thanks to your blunder, I got about 50 new followers, and I'm sure I will be getting more by the end of today. Talk about a backfire. There's an interesting quote that somebody said. "It's scary how easily people can be programmed," and then I said, "Every computer needs an OS." So I guess this account, if we scroll through this account is all about posting far right, conservative, vile art. Well, the first thing you should know, my friend, is that if you go to my Twitter and if you click on the profile, I say there right in the profile, I'm actually a centrist and a libertarian. So if that's too complex for you, I will show you the political compass right now. Here is the political compass, and my score is right here, if anybody is curious. It is 0, as in the x-axis, right here, and then -2. So that would be right here. I'll make a big circle for you. I was thinking about doing a sock puppet, or perhaps doing it in crayons. I'll think about it. Whatever helps you understand. So the thing about the political compass is that when you are here on the libertarian side of things, you can be friendly with all kinds of people. Maybe people over here, or maybe even people over here. As you get to the farther ends of things, though, like here, or here, perhaps here, or even all the way down here, things start to get a little weird. So maybe if you take one of these squares, which is what we're going to do right now, and I'm going to put my guy in the center of it, we're going to do a little of this. Here is what's called the Overton window. For myself, if you go too far in any of these directions, you're going to start disagreeing with people, maybe a little more fiercely than you would like to. But I want you to notice, dear friend, oh, bad conservative art. Look where conservatives are on this chart. Here, I'm going to circle it. Conservatives are over here, okay? I'm over here, right? I'm over here. And you guys are probably somewhere over here. See, you got your Stalin over here. You got your Hitler probably somewhere over here. You got your Chairman Mao probably over here somewhere. Do you understand? Do you see the pattern here? Where's the pattern? Let's look at it again. The pattern. Where could the pattern be? The further up you get, I don't like this. You ever heard of the Patriot Act? I don't like that. See, that's why I'm over here. And Nazis, if they're even up here, which is, I'm not sure about that, but they're definitely not here. But even if they were, look how far that is from where I am. It's called the Overton window. And that's why we're not going to get along, my friend. See, because you think I'm over here. And I'm not. I'm over here. Which is interesting because I voted for Gary Johnson way back in the day. But people like you make me think about, maybe I'll vote for Trump. Just to piss you off. I'm going to move on. Just to talk about this comic a little bit, the original comic, okay? The original comic was about the MAGA kid. The MAGA kid, for anybody... Oh, first let me explain the comic itself. The comic is about the... Well, I shouldn't even have to explain. It should be obvious, right? You got the kid on the right and the left. One of them is wearing a cartoonishly provocative dress, and of course, they're saying a statement which I agree with. Just because a certain person is dressed a certain way doesn't mean they're asking for unwanted attention, right? But then the kid on the right's wearing the MAGA hat, and he's got his little smile, which he did. And then he gets punched, but he was asking for it. What's the difference? They're both wearing something provocative. Should they be responsible for the consequences of the way that they dress? Were they asking for it? I made a sequel, in case anybody's curious. Let's look at the sequel real quick. His friend, I heard you got punched. Are you all right, Ted? And he's wearing a nice shirt that I like. I like America. The most provocative statement you could possibly say. I want a shirt of that. And then fascism detected, because, he's waving at his friend. And if you've ever seen a show called Father Ted, he accidentally gets labeled as a racist, and it's very funny. What am I trying to get at? I don't like, especially, that this clown... Like, you can post what you're going to post. That's fine. You can call me right-wing. You're wrong, right? But if you don't include me in the discussion, you're not actually trying to have a discussion, are you? Right-wing symbols, like the OK hand sign. Where in this comic, or in any of my comics, have I posted an OK hand symbol? There was one time where I played the hand circle game with my audience, and they thought it was an OK hand symbol, but it was wrong then as well. The kid's wearing a MAGA hat. That means he likes America, and he wants it to be great again. I understand that there's certain connotations with that, but I don't see the problem. Liking your country does not make you a racist, and it certainly doesn't make you a Nazi. But why in the world would you call me a right-wing person just because I'm defending these kids who basically got their lives ruined online because they were accidentally caught with the wrong people? Like, if you actually look at the footage, if you're interested in looking this up, which, if this happened days ago, I don't know why people don't know the full story now. The kids wearing the MAGA hats were approached. They were not the ones approaching the Native American guy who was playing the drum. The guy with the drum came up to him. Meanwhile, there were Black Israelites who are a known and registered hate group. You can look them up, and they're quite homophobic. I don't know why anyone would defend them. But the Native American guy comes up to the kid, plays his drum. It wasn't really a confrontation. The kid was just this awkward kid who was laughing and smiling because this guy came out of nowhere, started playing a drum in his face. Anybody would smile like that. I'm going to link to a couple videos below, which also a libertarian journalist, Tim Pool, talks about it. It's not a big deal. Some kids wearing a MAGA hat. And then all of a sudden online, everybody wants to dox them and ruin their freaking lives. And so I made a comic defending, hey, it's okay to wear a hat. For Christ's sake. If you get attacked for wearing a hat, or anyone who wants to attack you for wearing a hat, they can go fuck themselves. They are the criminals. They are indefensible. Their position's indefensible. So back to what happened. And by the way, I have so many notifications thanks to this. Oh, bad conserve art. Thanks again, by the way, because who knows what kind of good things will happen, because just because you took my name off the art and you didn't want to have a discussion with me, instead you wanted to spread lies. The problem with you guys is that you like to lie. whereas I have nothing to hide. I want people to come to my Twitter and see that I'm a normal person and I like telling funny jokes. What do you have to hide, man? Why don't you want to have a discussion with me? Could you have just simply said, hey, George, artist who made this comic, whose Twitter handle is directly on the comic, what did you mean by this comic? No. Instead, you want to compare me to people who maybe are on the far alt-right, which, there aren't that many in this country. If people like Ricky Gervais are called alt-right Nazis, I'm pretty sure maybe people have lost the script and they don't know what alt-right means anymore. And they certainly don't know what Nazis mean. That's the problem with crying wolf. You have to learn a couple of nursery rhymes. The boy who cried wolf said wolf too many times, and then when the wolf actually came, nobody believed him, and he got eaten alive. What do you have to learn from this? Don't call people Nazis, especially when they're not. Especially when they're people who might actually be like your ally against real Nazis. Again, political compass. I'm a centrist and a libertarian, and I definitely don't like authoritarians. Why in the world wouldn't you think maybe I should get to know this guy a little bit before I start comparing him to people who are, let's say, quite icky? You don't want to be associated with them. Maybe he makes comics about far left and the far right. If you knew anything about me or did 5 seconds of research, you would realize it. Go to my profile. Take a look at my comics. I am a centrist. I do not like extremism in any direction. Kiss my ass, dude. Oh, and by the way, I have an Indiegogo campaign for my book, Problematic. You should buy a copy. Link in the description. Okay, bye!